Yeah, welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
I'm Andy O.
We are KAMMA, and we are about to talk about the final predictions, thoughts from the face-offs for the main card. And we'll get right into it with the first fight of the main card, Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir. So for this one here, man, I gotta say that Volkan looks okay. He's not ripped and he's not that muscular, but he looks okay. Johnny Walker is way taller, as you can see here, than Volkan. He's way taller. He's in incredible shape. He's more ripped. He's bigger. He's more muscular. I thought that Volkan was going to be bigger than what I saw, man. I really was shocked to see how much bigger Johnny Walker really is over Volkan there. Um, and not to mention, Johnny Walker looks like a fucking psycho with that hair. Look at that crazy
Yeah,
hair he's rocking there, man. He looks like a fucking psycho, man. Um, definitely
I,
thinks he looks. I definitely think he looks tougher, and I have him beating Volkan in this one, man.
at the beginning there, if you saw, he put all his hair in front of him, like right before they faced off into like Volkan's face almost, and then put his head back to have it like go back. I don't know what kind of move that was, the hair move.
Yeah, he's just trying to
But
fucking intimidate Volkan.
uh,
But man, like this is like a crazy height advantage here. 6'6" to 6'2", and not to mention again the crazy 7.3 inches in the reach advantage for Walker, man. I got Walker winning this one by finish, man, by KO or submission. Who you got?
yeah, I'm still with Johnny Walker here. I still believe here Speed's going to end up killing, and Walker is just really unorthodox shots from everywhere. I think he has a chance of overwhelming Ozdemir here, although I still think it's possible to see a boring, really at range fight by Johnny Walker, who must at some point begin to question if he should be getting knocked out again, right? Um, Volkan is really basic and technical in his own way, and I'm afraid that Johnny Walker will get caught again. And it doesn't take much to put the guy out, right? I don't think it's going to happen though. I think Walker's going to pull out the win here and give me a second round knockout for Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I really think Volkan is going to have a hard time reaching his chin, having to punch upwards. Like I say all the time, when you're a shorter fighter, having to punch upwards, it's not as easy to get a knockout. It's not as easy to land clear shots on the face or on the chin of Johnny Walker. So I think it's going to be harder for Volkan to land those shots. I think that if Johnny Walker fights smart, keeps the fight at a distance, um, gets his leg kicks, gets those punches, accurate punches from a distance to piece up Volkan as the fight goes on. I think that he could land a knockout or even a submission. If he does one of his crazy wild moves, a flying knee or something, a club and sub, I think anything can happen with Johnny Walker. He's so unpredictable. All right, so that we are in agreement for the first fight of the main card here in our final predictions. This next fight, I have to mention before you get into it, Andy O, I got to mention that this was a fight change here. Shara Magomedov is now fighting Antonio Tricoli, who came in on short notice. Shara, as we all know, was supposed to fight Joelton Luderbach. Luderbach failed a urine test, and that's the reason why the fight got canceled. They suspected some substance, illegal substance, that Joelton was taking. So he failed the urine test, and then Tricoli stepped it up and decided to come in and fight Sharaputnin Magomedov. So here we go. Andy, who you got in this one?
Yeah, so Tricoli here, uh, this is his third opponent on the same card, I believe. He was originally supposed to fight Omar Sy. Then he was supposed to fight Aleskarov, who now is fighting Whitaker. And so this is his third opponent as well. We're hearing all about Shara having to fight the third appointment and that he doesn't care who it is and yada yada, right? But like Tricoli prepared, I don't know how much good this will do. It's been so long since he fought. I gotta hand it to him. He looks to be in better shape physically, like he looks to be more of a specimen than Shara here. But I don't think he's an outstanding wrestler enough to use it before Shara catches him with something, some kind of kick to knock him out. That's the way I'm leaning. Gonna be going with Shara here by knockout.
Nice.
Deal,
We
deal.
are in agreement as well, man. I'm still sticking with Sharaputnin Magomedov to get the win, even though Tricoli does look in phenomenal shape, man. He's also a little taller than Shara Tricoli is. Um, but Shara's no slouch either, man. I mean, he's also pretty big and ripped himself. Um, but you can see that Tricoli is a little bit bigger and a little bit more muscular there. Uh, Again, this is going to be a banger. These guys are going to go at it. Um, I don't think Tricoli is going to win this fight. I just think that Sharaputin is going to get the better of him with the striking. I think he's going to be better, and Tricoli might try to get some takedowns. I think Sharaputin will stuff those takedowns. I think Sharaputin is going to be better on the feet. I think he's going to move around quicker and faster than Tricoli. I think Tricoli is also going to gas out as well in this one. And like you said, also, the guy hasn't fought in a very long time. His last fight was 2 years and 7 months ago.
It's been a
That
spell.
really has to affect him in some way, man. Like we're talking 2 years and 7 months. That was in 2021, his last fight, man. And Shara just fought 8 months ago and beat Bruno Silva. So and Bruno Silva is a very dynamic and very good fighter as well, who's 23-9. So yeah, I like Sharaputin to get the win here. I think he's the more active fighter. He's been fighting more recently. I think Tricoli's going to be a bit rusty, and for that reason, I like Shara to get the win here. I have Shara winning this one by KO or decision.
All right, nice.
All right, moving on up to the next fight. We got Kelvin Gastelum versus Daniel Rodriguez.
I want to add something before you continue on this fight. This fight originally was supposed to be at welterweight. Now it's at middleweight, 185, because Gastelum couldn't make the weight. Just to
That is
let you
true. That
know.
is true. He didn't make the weight. Well, you know what? Kelvin Gastelum actually didn't look as bad as I thought he was. I thought he was going to come out as a fat ass there and like really out of shape. He actually came in decent shape. I'm not going to say he's in great shape. He's got a little bit of a beer belly there,
Yeah.
but he is in decent shape. From the chest up, he looks pretty good. Looks pretty built. I mean, he's got a bit of a stomach there, but I don't think it's going to affect him that much. Um, I mean, D-Rod is, of course, he's taller. He's in better shape, of course, D-Rod. He's more ripped and muscular. This should be a good fight. I like Gastelum to get the win here. I just can't trust the gas tank and the durability of D-Rod. I think Gastelum's going to be good on the feet. He's going to land some good shots. I don't think D-Rod's ever going to try to take him down. I think Gastelum has the threat of all. Gastelum could take down D-Rod. Gastelum does have some good wrestling as well.
He should actually maybe try for a couple takedowns.
He definitely should. I mean, he did get knocked out in his last fight. D-Rod, he got knocked out by Ian
Ian
Garrett.
Gary.
That's right. And he also got knocked out. Oh no, he got subbed by Neil Magny. And man, I really think that Gastelum has the power to knock out D-Rod if he catches him with something. And again, I think that if Gastelum decides to wrestle and get a takedown on D-Rod with that extra weight that Gastelum has on him, then I think he's going to be hard to get him off of him, and he'll get some ground control there. So Gastelum's the pick. I think he's the better fighter overall. He's got more ways to win. And D-Rod, I just can't trust his chin or his durability and gas tank there. So I got Kevin Gastelum. Who you got? I got Kevin Gastelum winning by. I have him winning by decision in this one, actually.
When D-Rod started coming up into the UFC, and up until I guess right now, I've been hearing about his vaunted striking, and wow, D-Rod striking is just so good. And I don't know if it's just me, but his striking these days doesn't look good. And not only that, I wasn't even ever that good to begin with. Like, I don't think Gastelum is going to try and take him down, although he should, but I think Gastelum can knock him out on the feet also. And I think he's a better striker. and he probably does have a better gas tank. And I just look, Gastelum isn't the best guy to trust these days given his recent record, but I think the fact that this fight got moved to 185, I think this is going to really benefit Gastelum here. It was probably a load off his mind. He's going to come out there and beat D-Rod up. I don't like the fact that D-Rod got knocked out the way he did by Ian Gary the last time in a striking matchup. And I'm afraid for him that it may happen again. So I'm going to go with Gastelum by a knockout or decision.
All right, we are in agreement so far in all of the fights in the main card here. All right, moving on up, we've got Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov here.
All right, so this one, the thing that I worry about the most in this fight is that apparently these guys are friends, and I'm afraid it's going to turn in one of those light little sparring matchups, right? Where both of them don't really want to hurt each other. But assuming that's not the case, gotta go with Sergey Pavlovich here. I like his reach advantage coming in there to test Volkov early and maybe often, but maybe not all that often because it could be an early night. Pavlovich, while I mentioned that his striking is so limited from, the neck down because he doesn't throw anything that way, what he does have is great boxing above there. Like he has nice feints coming in. Again, the reach, the explosive power. And I don't think Volkov is going to be able to handle it. I like Volkov, and he's also kind of like really juiced up Volkov these days. But even then, I just don't think he'll be able to survive the early onslaught by Pavlovich. What about you, Real Deal?
Wow, like honestly, in this one, man, I couldn't believe it, man. But Pavlovich looks really good. Man, he lost a lot of weight, man. Pavlovich, man, he used to come out there looking pretty slobby, and this one, he looks really, really good. He looks more muscular and ripped. He's way bigger than Volkov, way thicker than Volkov. Of course, Volkov is taller, as you can see here, and he's skinnier. I don't know what he was saying, but Volkov was talking way too much, man, in the face-offs. He just fucking kept talking to Pavlovich.
It,
I don't know what he
it,
was telling him.
it was probably on the pleasantry side of things, because they're buddy buddy.
Babbling and babbling. He wouldn't stop running his mouth, man. Like he just keep talking and talking. Like, buddy, this is a fight coming up, man.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Like shut your mouth and be serious, man. Stop talking to the guy. And then he was forcing Pavlovich to answer him all the time. I don't think Pavlovich really wanted to talk that much, but Volkov wouldn't shut his mouth. Uh,
Probably like how are your kids and stuff and
who knows, man? But Pavlovich looks much more stronger. He looks more powerful. I'm really gunning for Pavlovich to get the knockout in the first round, and I think he gets a finish in the first round. If the fight goes past the first round, I think there's a good live opportunity. If you're in the betting, a live opportunity to look at that. If it goes past the first round, the gas tank of Pavlovich, how he's looking, Volkov could be a good live betting opportunity. If it gets past the first or second round, first 1.5 rounds, if it gets past that. But the pick is going to be Pavlovich to get the finish in the first round, most likely by knockout. All right, so we are in agreement again in this one. Next is the final, the main event of the main card here: Robert Whitaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. All right, for this one, man, I switched my pick. I changed my
no.
pick. I had Ikram Aliskerov in the early predictions, folks, but I changed my pick, man. I'm going with Robert Whitaker. Um, Man, both these guys are in amazing shape. I think Whitaker looks slightly more ripped, as you can see in this picture. You can even see his abs there popping out. He's more ripped and more muscular. However, Aliskerov is slightly taller, as you can see. I just think Robert looks better, man. I think that Whitaker looks better. He's going to be more prepared. I think that he's going to win this fight by landing more strikes and defending the takedowns from Ikram. I think Robert Whitaker is just a bit more polished as a fighter. I think he's more experienced, of course, in the UFC. Fought the better fighters, of course. And I just think that this is a step up in competition for Ikram. I think Ikram's going to do a good job. I still think Ikram is a live dog, if we're going to talk about the betting soon in the next video. But I just have a slight lean for Robert Whitaker in this one to get the win. I got Robert Whitaker winning this one by KO or decision in this one.
I'm going sticking with Ikram here. I like his his usual takedown ability. I like the fact that he has power, and I believe he's also stronger than Robert Whitaker, regardless of how they look like. I think he'll be able to, if he wants to, really impose his will. And in any moments where strength is a factor, I think Aliskerov's going to be stronger, and he's going to use that as.
Look at the muscle on that left arm of Robert Whitaker, man.
Yeah, yeah, but that's
God
cosmetic,
damn, he looks huge, man. You know?
it's true, but still, it's cosmetic. And with Whitaker, yeah, he's really polished. He's agile. I like Whitaker a lot. It's going to be sad to see him lose his fight. But the way I see it, I think is Igrab here is kind of like a different styled version of Chimaev, right? So I think they're both going to be prepared for each other. It was probably Ikrab's goal, like for the title to get it or whatnot. Robert Whitaker is just like the step to there. I'm sure he's going to be ready to go, and my pick is going to be him in, let's just say, by knockout or decision.
All right. Yeah, I also thought about it too, and I was like, Robert Whitaker was actually training, originally to fight against Khamzat Chimaev, who is, obviously he's the Don, the GOAT, when it comes to these Russian guys. Chimaev is the man, you know what I mean? And I think that Robert Whitaker was preparing to fight against him. Now he gets a little easier of an opponent in Ikram Aliskerov. So I think that the training that he got, the training that he was training for Khamzat, I think is going to play a factor that he's going to be ready for what Ikram is going to bring to the table here and bring to this fight. I just think that he's going to be more prepared for Khamzat, and that will translate into the win here when he fights Ikram. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a slight lean. I'm not very super confident in it, but I think that Robert Whitaker just gets a slight lean there in this one. So I switched my pick.
All right.
So only one disagreement in the main card, two disagreements in the early in the prelims. So not too bad. We disagreed out of 3 out of 11 fights, which is not that bad. So all right, man. There you have it, folks. Our final predictions. Anything to say to the folks out there, Andy O?
As usual, like and subscribe, and don't forget to watch the bets video.
Yes, our official bets video coming up next. Peace out, folks.